In today's video, I'm attempting to make American-style grits from home. Now, if you say to most British people what are grits, they would probably say,
what are grits?
Indeed, as a British person, when I think of grits, I think of maybe grit or gritters, the sort of things that come out when the roads are icy. Anyhow, I think I've got myself the right stuff. I'm not entirely sure. Yes, but as you'll see, I might have given myself an unnecessary additional step in this process. So all being well, we'll make a basic grits mix, then we'll enhance it a little bit with some butter and cheese, and then finish off, hopefully, with a more stereotypical Southern style one involving bacon and prawns, or shrimp, as the case may be.
Shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad.
I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but for me, success is actually making them look fairly edible. So this is where I've made a little bit of a boo-boo. I mean, they do look a little bit like teeth, but this is corn. This is white corn, but it's called hominy. So where I've made a boo-boo is I should have ordered the ground stuff where it's been ground in a mill, whereas actually it's much more, well, corny.
Were these magic grits?
So just for clarity, it wouldn't be sold on the shelf as ground hominy corn. It would basically just say grits. But of course, now we've got to work out a way to grind it. Now, apparently an easy workaround is to use polenta. Some places in America use it. It's got that yellowy hue. In fact, it is ground corn. But basically what makes this white and indeed hominy, I really like that word. So we take the corn and that gets treated into a process called nixtamalized, which will change the flavor, soften the texture. Although holding those there, you wouldn't think it, they're rock hard, but also removes the hull. So once it has been treated, it effectively becomes hominy, and at that stage, it then gets ground. And once you've got ground grits, which hopefully we will get in a moment, yeah, and hopefully it will result in a different flavor and texture profile. I don't know, that sounds quite interesting. I know, I'm sold. America, I hope I sort of do you proud. Let's get this ground as best we can. All right, I'm gonna put it into a blender. I was thinking about a coffee grinder, but I don't actually have one at the moment. All right, here we go. And I don't want to get it completely like sand, which is good. Wow, what a noise. Oh my gosh. Oh. You can see the headlines now. Middle-aged man gets excited about whizzing up corn in a blender. Oh my gosh. Yes. And I don't know if it's gonna be absolutely perfect. Oh, it's got a lovely texture. I'm just running my fingers through it to see if there's any major chunks, but I think it's got it. This is awesome. I think it's doing it. It smells like a factory. I don't know. I was kind of hoping that might taste sweet, or the lime from the alkaline. Literally tastes of dust. But we've definitely got something, haven't we? I'm hoping this water will help pad it out, because that's gonna be our base mix to do the 3 lots of grits I wanna try. So this is 1.2 liters of water. So it's 4 parts water to the grits. All right, so we're just gonna get this up to a simmer on its own. Yeah, I kind of wanted to dump this in straight away, but apparently no, into hot water. I'm gonna be really upset if I pour it in, it just dissolves everywhere. I just want to make sure that there's been no sort of crazy gritty magic going on or something where, oh no, yep, I've still got 300 grams, that's good. Because other than the water and the grits, the only other thing I'm using is salt and a bit of butter, but we'll see a lot more of that later. All right, so we're ready to go. I've got some salt for the water here. Let's get that in there. Totally should call this video the Brit that tries grits. Let's get this in. Is it all gonna completely absorb? It's not dissolving, this is good. At first, it's gonna not really like it in there. It's lowered the temperature. Why does that smell so sweet? We'll keep going with this, and I might switch up to a whisk, but I just wanted to give it an initial stir. I need to check that actually. Maybe that's why it's called grits, because when we whizzed it up to that gritty texture. I mean, it's definitely a lot softer in there now, but that is thickening up. Maybe we'll still get some of that. Just switch to a whisk. I feel like I'm making wallpaper paste. But it is breaking down these chunks, and with it, it is thickening up. It is getting there. And yeah, finally, it does actually smell of something. It does smell slightly of corn. We're sort of rehydrating it and bringing it back to life. It would have been so much easier if I did buy the pre-ground stuff. I really wish I knew someone that owned a mill. It would have been quite funny just to turn up with a 500 gram bag of it. But I was like, well, I don't want to waste it. I've bought it. And honestly, the texture is genuinely changing. That is thickening up. All right then, folks. Out it comes. I've been whisking it fairly frantically last few minutes. It's sort of smooth, but it's also sort of lumpy. It's said to try and get it to a creamy consistency, which I think that is. It's fallen off the whisk quite nicely. But now, at last, with this heat, we're gonna shove in some butter, and that is gonna absolutely gobble that up, isn't it? Nice bit of flavor in there. I can see this little iceberg of butter being whisked around here. Suddenly, the corn smell has gone, and that just smells like buttery popcorn. Right, let me get this whisked through, and this is gonna be our base version. And actually, that is making it slightly smoother. Okay. It's like a confused porridge. It's actually, as it's cooling, giving me sort of weird cornstarch vibes, which, well, it's all corn, isn't it? All right, so I've got my base mix still here that we're gonna use to enhance, right? But as this on its own, I've got the very British thing of having it with a teaspoon. What a weird texture that is. That is not bland at all. It's like warming and comforting. It's kind of like a confused porridge with actual grits in it. I hope that's what we're after. I am getting that slight sort of bite, that texture to it. I really shouldn't like that as much as I did. I'm fairly certain, I mean, it is reminding me of cold porridge. I can almost lift it out in one piece now. Like, look at that. I kind of hope I have failed it a bit because it's an excuse to go to South Carolina, isn't it? And I believe sometimes people, instead of just all water, you can add milk in it as well. And of course, I could have added some pepper on it too, but no, we're gonna enhance our base mix now to Cheesy Town. I cannot get over how surprisingly nice that was. It was unsalted butter, but that salt we put in, about 2 teaspoons, was just enough. The butter was the dominant taste, but it was kind of like the vessel of those grits. It was like creamy, but like with this gritty texture. I think that is literally how I'd explain it, even if I didn't think the dish was called that. Right, so I've had to add a little bit of water as I warm this up over the hob to revive it a teeny bit, but if I liked it as bland looking as it looks like this, it looks so dull. We're gonna go for the cheesy grits, so more butter, cayenne pepper, which is optional, salt. I guess you could use milk, but I'm adding in some double cream. So along with our first base mix, this would also be breakfast as well, cheesy grits. Whisk this through, maybe the cayenne might slightly dye it, but we've got the butter, we've got the cheese as well. Oh my gosh. This is warm at the moment and it is creamier. I'm very excited for this. I'm gonna put a little bit more on there, just a shimmy, and a few specks of pepper. Oh yes. I don't know how authentic that is, but it tastes as good as it smelled based on the first one too. This is gonna be a very good day. Actually, there is quite a difference there. You can see how that extra butter, the cream and the cheese has made a real impact. It literally smells of mac and cheese. Corn and cheese. Loving the pepper and the cayenne on there. I feel like I've just eaten warmed, leftover mushy cornflakes in a cheese toasty. I mean, very nice. Exceptionally cheesy, exceptionally creamy, but it is those little bits of corn. We've got the smooth texture, but also from time to time, these like little chunks of corny grit. I'm not gonna have any more because this base mix now stays the same, but for authentic Southern, like proper grits, we push it even further. So how can we enhance this? Bacon? All right. Oh. I've had to push the cooking to American style, proper crispy, but the oil and the smoky bacon fat it cooked in, we keep this. Oh yes, and straight from the freezer aisle. Woo! It's not even on the heat, that's how hot this pan is. Some jumbo raw prawns cooking straight in that bacon fat. Yeah, I just want to show you how hot that pan was. Right, let's get it back on. Yep, just getting these going whilst our cheesy grits just look on going, what's going on? Oh, yeah, apparently historically this is more of like a coastal breakfast, but is much more acceptable as a brunch or lunch, or I think a dinner, but with the smoky bacon scent on that, all right, that is looking good. All right, I might as well take it off the heat and show you here. Seems to be working quite well. Chopped garlic, cayenne pepper, smoked paprika, some Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of lemon juice, and a couple of tablespoons of chicken stock. Oh my gosh, I need to get this back on the heat. Yeah, this smells angry and tangy and smoky and zingy. These recipes are actually from an American cookbook I've got. These ones are the classic ones, but then it spins off into all these other variations with like more hot sauce and bananas and stuff. But I feel like after this one, I'm gonna be quite well fed today anyway. Okay, so I'm warming back up the cheesy grits. This has reduced the lemon juice and the stock down. It's almost become like a paste. The bacon In you go, mate. Awesome little crunchy bacon water slide. Just gonna warm that back up. So this is basically what I think is one of many varieties, or actually a British twist maybe, of shrimp and grits, which does actually sound like a rap group from the 80s. All right, so I've warmed this through. I just had to pop out of the room for a minute to check on a dog, and it's not Boston. That'll make sense in a minute. I'm looking after my sister's dog, I'll show you. But this is it. We spoon some of the shrimp prawns, I have to call them prawns, I'm British, on top, but we are making shrimp and grits. You're supposed to put a lemon slice with it, but I want to eat this, so I don't want to end up accidentally eating a lemon slice, so I'm gonna squeeze some of the lemon juice on, and then just finish. Yeah, this can't be breakfast, surely. Just a little bit of spring onion. There we go. Oh my word. Here we go. We know what the base is going to be like, but I'm going to try and get all of that sauce. That sauce is phenomenal. You got the spices working with the chicken stock and the Worcester sauce plus the lemon. That is gorgeous simplicity, and I'm completely convinced that the grits under it is basically cauliflower cheese in corn form. Oh, damn, that's good. I mean, they don't look that great now, but they've all been good. And this video has sent me down a path I didn't really think it was going to go as well as this. And of course, feel free to let me know if I've made any mistakes. I mean, I will try and improve this, maybe the ground stuff, but we did grind it ourselves. Just the butter and salt enhancements to this actually made it pretty darn good. More butter, cheese, and cream into this one for our base that then ultimately went into this. That was gorgeous. I've absolutely loved this. This has been like a little bit of exploration, a little bit of experimentation, the unknown. But where I've ended is Planet Taste Bud. I've tried cornbread, I've done the American style biscuits and gravy, and you guys gave me so many suggestions, and I will revisit that. With your feedback, whether it's here, whether it's in America itself, I will revisit this too. But from this Brit, I endorse the grits. Folks, this is Coco, who is my sister's dog that I've been looking after for this video. Yeah, so basically, if you've been wondering why I've been keep coming in and out of the room going, oh, it smells amazing, had to make sure that she wasn't ripping the sofa apart because no one else was home. I think it's fair to say that, yes, Boston, we've earned quite an appetite. See you later, guys. I'm gonna go for a big walk with them.